are live, baby, live. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, NCAA Net Profits. It's Thursday, March 10th, Max, and we are in full fucking swing here with conference games. But before we get to some of your line moves on because we got games going on and we got to get to games quickly, your line moves, how was last night for you?
Last night was a travesty to any pick that I gave out to someone else. I will put it like that. I did get some back against Gus live, but pregame I was very frustrated. Some of my team total numbers were, I thought, on point, on pace, and then we just had collapses. So that's gambling for you. I just wake up, do it again. Some other people can't do that, but if you can't, just watch and learn, and you will let those losses roll off your back like I did. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be here with you, Conor, on the show. I'm ready here to be with these badass motherfuckers in the chat. Let's fuck with our eyes open. Additional spread time, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Before I throw it to you to hit the line moves real quick, mine was a freaking wild day last night. Obviously, Georgia got their ass whooped. Sam Houston State took care of business. Delaware State was great work, Max. Came through. Coppin was good for me. Utah Valley choked in the second half for me. The over in Utah-Washington got there, which I thought was going to get there, and that kept dropping. So it was just up and down day, after this amazing weekend, these last 3 days. This morning's been pretty good. Sac State hit the shits, but Fordham came through for me. Butler did. So I'm trying to catch a few more dogs today.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow.
What game are you watching now?
Fucking Southern and Grambling, bro. I don't want overtime. I want under basketball. I want Southern to just lose. Just go down with some dignity, you sons of bitches. Arizona and Stanford in the last minute. Arizona with a 3-point lead, 80-77. Long Beach up 13. Tulsa doing some damage. Oh, bro, there's a lot of games. And how entertaining was that Boise, Nevada game? That was a great fucking game. And obviously, Conor, my fellow Canadian Emmanuel Acott with 22 points and 4 threes. Salute. Love it.
Yeah. All right, let's roll. Do you want to hit the line moves real quick before we get into them?
Yeah. Okay, Conor.
Okay, real quick.
I will just for you. Ball State, Ohio, 147 total opener, down to 145 right now. Maryland, Michigan State, we saw that total open at 142.5, and now it's down to 139.5. And I do see some buyback coming on my arbitrage betting software. Penn State and Ohio State, very big line movement, 132.5 down to as low as 126.5. Yet no line movement on the spread with question marks for Ohio State's personnel. Then we go to the ACC where we see Notre Dame open up as a favorite. Now they're an underdog. And we've seen North Carolina and Virginia's total go from 133.5 to as low as 130. So very interesting stuff right there on your Power 5 basketball. We do have a couple games that definitely will be interesting to watch. I don't know how much value there is in the line right now. Richmond and Rhode Island, that is one of them right now. Richmond opened up as a 4-point favorite. They are now a 6-point favorite. And it's like a vampire sucking blood out of your goddamn jugular. When I go to the Big East, obviously, I have to take note of the fact that the Seton Hall UConn game, the total has gone from 134.5 down to 131. And Seton Hall has been able to really D up on my Huskies. So I'm hoping that they don't even make it to the game and they have to forfeit. So anybody in the Madison Square Garden area, if you're looking to make 10 grand, let me know. I'm cheap. Canadian dollars also. When it comes to the SEC, Connor, definitely talk about the two totals there. We haven't seen much movement on the spread, but South Carolina, Mississippi State opened up at 136. Now we're as high as 138.5. And with Vanderbilt and Alabama, I'm surprised we're not in the 150s yet because we opened up at 147.5. I thought this game was going to get steamed. It is as high as 149 or 148.5. So interesting line moves there. When it comes to some of the other games down the board, some of the less entertaining ones, I would say that this Northern Colorado, Eastern Washington spread and total, very interesting. 159 opener down to 153.5. And Northern Colorado opened up as a 2-point favorite. They're now as high as 4.5. So you really have to line shop for the best of the number on that game. In the Oregon-Colorado game, which is starting up in 20 minutes, we've seen Oregon open up as a favorite on a neutral court and now is a 1.5 or 2-point dog versus a Colorado team that doesn't seem to play good basketball anywhere but home. So I don't know what's going on there. I hope that you know, Connor. And going to the Mountain West, a conference that you love, that you're confident in, we've seen Fresno and San Diego State's total and spread move towards the over from 113 to 115.5, and from San Diego State from a 4-point favorite to a 6-point favorite. In the Colorado State game against Utah State, with a bunch of guards potentially out for Utah State, we've seen Colorado State open up as a 1.5-point favorite. They're now a 4-point favorite. So when is enough going to be enough when it comes to those two numbers? Going down the board, I definitely have to take note of Cal Irvine. Open up as a 1-point favorite. Now they're a 2-point dog or 2.5. Seems like fade the line movement type deal right there. And the Hawaii Cal Riverside total went from 128.5 to 125. Not sure that's the right move playing in a neutral court in Henderson, Nevada, which I hope Connor will be at this game. Connor, just a couple more that I'm going to talk about, and then we'll get right into it. Rice and Louisiana Tech, 127.5 down to 125.5. That's not really a big surprise. Louisiana Tech opened up as a small favorite. They are now a small dog, and the total very surprisingly went from 146.5 to 143.5. Then I want to talk about UAB going from a 5.5-point favorite to a 7-point favorite or 7.5. I'm not sure that Florida Atlantic's going to be able to freaking do what they did last night against this tier and quality of opponent. Siena opened up as a pick'em. They're now a 1.5-point dog. Their total opened up at 140.5. It's down to 137. So crazy line movement with that. We've seen a couple points line movement in the Niagara Monmouth total, which is no surprise to anybody. And we've seen alignment towards the over, albeit at a very low number in the Grand Canyon game at 122.5 to as high as 125.5. Aside from that, Connor, that is the only other line move that I think that is relevant to bring up right now. And everything else is just let's wait and talk about it during the game.
Let's do it. But first, let's give a shout out to the best goddamn chat in the goddamn game here at Pub Sports Radio. Hit the goddamn thumbs up, the like button. That's all I'm asking for. Max could have something else, obviously. Shout out to my guy, Jay Kaiser. $10 dono. Hit the train. Yes, Jake in Long Beach is taking it to him, Max. So looks like we're in the clear there.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah, beautiful.
Scrambling with the win, baby. Yes, Connor. Yes, Connor.
Let's give a shout out to the chat real quick.
Hold on. Antel's talking about UConn. He's trying to chirp me. Listen, Antel.
I know.
Third time's going to be the charm. We're going to beat Seton Hall. Then we're going to beat you guys again. You're going back to the cornfields, Anthony. You're going to the cornfield.
Got Creighton with a huge win today. Let's get real quick, and then we got to get to these 2:30 games here. G. Martinez, Pierre, I don't know, Ryan, Raymond Coker, Mark Stella, Bill, how you doing? Sammy Comer, what's going on? Paulie Walnuts, AJN, Ron Lofton, Nasty Nate, PG, what up? G. Martinez, Talk Sports with JT, Tori Coker, Rodney Barton, Crystal Warren, Ron Lofton, what's up, my guy? Jake Kaiser his $10 dono. Yeah, he said keep going. Long Beach, really good. Creighton, we know he loves his Creighton there. Andrew Carr, Matty Ice, Taint play of the day, Virginia +4. I am already on that, my guy, no doubt in that one. Real Deal Prime, the grinder, selling heat pumps all across Canada. 1777 memorabilia up in here. Brian Gantz, what's up? Aunt L, how you doing, my guy? Good to see you in here. James S. Kyle, how you doing? Trap Mixtapes, what's up? Good to see you. Top Set. Alrighty, let's get into it. Dr. 24. Shout out to everyone. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get into the games, Max. And we got to go by time here. Let's get right to it. Big West quarters here. If I wasn't doing the show, I'd be right there watching this game right now. UC Santa Barbara, Cal Irvine. You talked about the move, Max. Barbara's 2-point favorites. This total has dropped a little bit. Obviously, it wasn't going to be high. It's 124. Still think it might stay under. What do you think here, Santa Barbara, Cal Irvine?
Yeah, for time restrictions, I'll just say that Irvine wins this game if they play under basketball. But if they go up and down and UC Santa Barbara's guards are scoring on them and doing a good job scoring on them, yeah, my numbers say that UCI is going to win this game.
Yeah, that one should be really good. Always a battle with those two. It seems like every year. Meeting in the quarters, though, this year. Shout out to Kyle with the $10 dono. Hell yeah. Hit the goddamn train. Yes. It's been a good day. Except Sacramento State. Sons of bitches. But leave it at that. Let's get to this game, Max, which is intriguing to me. Now UNLV +110. UNLV getting a 1.5. Even one spot here at WinBet has 2 is Wyoming. As Wyoming is taking the cash. This total has gone down just a little bit, a point and a half to 135. Obviously, they just played a week ago, Max. UNLV won 64-57. Obviously, it's a guard thing with Hamilton to me. Maldonado. Wyoming's had a hard time scoring as of late. They were really good on the road all year long. What do you think here? They're the home team here at the MAC this afternoon. I wish I would actually be at this game. What am I talking about? Not the Santa Barbara game. I'd be at this one. UNLV Wyoming. What do you like here?
Yeah, I think that with this line, it's probably moving because of what's it called? Probably moving because of Hunter Maldonado being ruled in the lineup because he was questionable. He did get banged up.
Yeah, but I still thought he was always going to play.
Yeah, of course, but you never know with these guys, and we never know until they actually get that starting lineup announced. With Hunter Maldonado in the lineup, I like Wyoming early. I think that just the difference is Bryce Hamilton. If Bryce Hamilton has an outlier game, UNLV wins. It's just that simple.
I know. It's just they just played. It's just a crazy spot. Man, I think UNLV wins too. It should be a really good one. And it depends. I could see these teams' shots are dropping. This goes over, but I think the line's pretty sharp here. I think at 135. What do you think of the total?
Yeah, no, I took the under. I took the under at 136.5.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way I could look as well when I looked at this total last night. All righty, let's get over to T-Mobile here. Pac-12, Oregon, Colorado. Colorado's a 1-point favorite. Some places 1.5. Here, Max, total's right around 138. I know you're probably going to want the Ducks here. Can they get it done?
No, I want nothing in this game just because I don't want anything in this game. If I take anything in this game, it's an over in the first half, and that's barely getting my interest in it.
Yeah, I'm not big on this game either. The total, I think, is there as well at 138. Colorado can go over. I think Colorado's the better team. Obviously, I like Dane Altman. He's going to have his guys ready. I just haven't been able to trust Oregon all year, as you know, since the beginning of the year with this show and that team. So, but now you could take them, not even the point. You could take the point and a half or just take them, right around plus 110. Oregon on the money line if you like the Ducks in that one, but I will pass. Let's keep rolling here. South Carolina State, Morgan State here, Max. Morgan State's a 4.5-point favorite. Total's right around 145. What do you like here? Can South Carolina State hang here?
Listen, I think that with Morgan State and specifically Malik Miller, if he has a good game and he's dominating on the glass, and let's not forget this is a 6'4" lead guard, he just makes everything easier for this team. He's going to need some help from Lagio Grandson and Datorian Ware, but this is their last hurrah. This is their opportunity. They've gotten so much better as the season goes. They remind me of Georgia State, just a MEAC version of it, and I think that Morgan State is going to be cruising just like the line opened at 1 and then is ended up at 4.5. I think they can win this game by 10 plus.
Okay, 10 plus. All righty. Montana, they're tied at 25. Okay, let's keep going here. Houston Baptist. No, I was just looking at it. I am not on anything in that game. I wanted to take Montana because I don't trust Weber State, but I didn't pull the trigger. What are you on?
I'm on Weber State minus 1.5 first half.
First half? All right. Well, you got a nail biter here early. Let's go Houston Baptist, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi 5.5-point favorites. This total is 144.5. In this game, I have nothing here, Max. Do you have enough faith here with Houston Baptist? Could it get over?
Well, I think that Houston Baptist's first half team total at 32 or 32.5 is a good enough number for them. They do have a good set offense. They do have a lot of good drive and kick guys. And with Darius Lee being such a big body and such a hard freaking defensive assignment, if he's able to get going early, that's going to be a big difference maker for HBU. However, over the course of the game, I do think that this Texas A&M Corpus Christi is going to be able to wear them down. And when you have a force, even at 6'5", like Isaac Mushila, you can really do a lot. Texas A&M Corpus Christi can bring the D when they need to. I don't know if this is a game that they need to. I think that you're best off forcing HBU to score bucket for bucket and being able to take advantage of that sometimes less than enthusiastic defense that we've seen from the Houston Baptist.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's full game could get over in that one. Let's keep going. A10 quarterfinals here, Max. UMass, George Washington. UMass is 3-point favorites. This total's right around 149, 149 and a half. What
happened with LSU? Did they actually blow the cover? I had Missouri.
Yeah, they blew the cover. Missouri cover. Yeah. 76-68 final. Yeah, let me double. 76-68. LSU or Missouri, I think, went on like a 10-2 run there. Close it out with the cover. Let's get to this one. UMass, George Washington. What do you got here?
Yeah, listen, I think that George Washington's best effort tonight has to be put on the defensive end. We've seen this team struggle against some of the more high-octane teams within the A10, but we've also seen this George Washington team be able to beat UMass at their own game. I think that with UMass, the easiest way to play them in any of their games is to play the first half over. They just constantly go over in first halves, whether they're up or down. But George Washington is the one team that hasn't been as easy to do that. I think in the third game, we're going to see a lot of Noah Fernandez. We're going to see a lot of TJ Weeks. And listen, if Javon Garcia can be a difference maker off the bench, it's going to help UMass tenfold. UMass wins, they get their team total over. George Washington wins, this game stays under in the first half, and GW covers that 3.
Yeah, I like George Washington here with the points. Basically, kind of like a home game for them. And some reason they've just owned UMass, so I got to take the 3 here. I think they could win outright. I wish it was more, but hey, when you beat a team 8 straight times or whatever it is, I'll take the 3 at least. Let's keep rolling here, Max. To the next one, Mississippi State, South Carolina. Mississippi State 4.5 point favorites. This totals right around 138, 137.5. I like South Carolina here just a little bit, but I don't know if I could trust them. I wanted 6.5 in this one. What do you like here, Mississippi State, South Carolina?
Yeah, this is definitely a spot where I am going to be on South Carolina first half and full game. I think that with South Carolina, they're going to be able to do something that Mississippi State just has not been able to show that they can do on a regular basis. While I do respect the fact that Mississippi State is going to be a boatload to handle on the glass, I just think that this is a game where you just need more guard production than you're getting from freaking Iverson Molinar. You know, Shaquille Moore is a guy that I think that can be a big offensive producer with how much attention other guys get in this starting 5. If he can be the outlier tonight, I do think that he gives Mississippi State exactly what they need to push them over the edge. But I'm not going to take this Mississippi State team at this line in this situation, knowing that South Carolina has been able to really guard them on the 3-point line and take away the advantage that they have on the offensive glass, even if they're getting offensive rebounds. Turn Mississippi State over. You create enough distance. We've seen South Carolina get off to some good starts. They're going to need one tonight. If they do so, they're going to be making us happy people.
Yeah, I like South Carolina here with the points in that one. Let's keep going. Ball State, Ohio. Ohio's 8 point favorites in this one, Max. This totals right around 145.5. Man, I didn't really have anything here. I'd like to take the under, but what do you like in this one?
What? Which Ohio?
Ohio versus Ball State.
Yeah, I think that with Ohio, I want to take them in the first half. I want to see how they're going to start off this game. Listen, they haven't been bulletproof when they're not at home, and Mark Sears definitely hasn't been at his best lately. But what is really going for this team is that we've seen Ohio put up 80 plus in 2 games versus this Ball State team. And with Ball State, you know, we know how talented they are at getting to the free throw line, getting guys like Luke Bumblau, lots of scoring opportunities, but you got to be able to carry it over. If you have a hot first half, you got to be able to bring it in the second. And that's where I worry about Ball State. Now, Ohio normally is a team that I try to stay away from in the first half because they come out flat a lot of the time. However, with a do or die situation and probably a very sketchy last 6 weeks of the season, I do think that we can get a wire to wire win, especially at this number. So I'm looking at Ohio. If I can get a first half under 5, 4.5 would be ideal.
Yeah, Ohio just doesn't seem the same like you talked about, especially on the road or even on a neutral floor this year. I think they can handle business with Ball State. I'm not going to lay the 8. Let's keep rolling here. Conference USA, Rice, North Texas. North Texas 10.5 point favorites. This totals 126.5, right in that number. Max, what do you like here?
Yeah, listen, I think that Rice had a nice game last night. I want to see them be able to score against this North Texas defense. Listen, we saw it in the game on February 12th. Rice barely got to 45 points. So I just don't see what's going to change tonight. We're going to get a North Texas team that's going to have some very good scoring defense. They're going to really take away any good looks that you get or want to take from the 3-point line. And that's one of the keys to this Rice offense, even with Quincy Oliveri not in the lineup. But when we look at this group for North Texas, they don't have to go deep, and they can bring Tyler Perry off the bench to give you that change of pace if you get off to a slow start. But I think that when you have the combination of Reuben Jones and Martez McBride with Perry able to come off the bench and be your spark plug, yeah, North Texas has kept these games under by a fair margin. And I think that they can win this game quite handily. I would not be surprised to see them win this game by at least 15.
Yeah, I agree everything you said. I think Rice scored 44 and 45 or something like that. I mean, it'd be if they got 55 tonight, I'd be shocked. So yeah, I like their team total under and the under. And like we talk about, North Texas, I think even covers. There. Let's keep rolling. Maryland. Let's get to the Big Ten. Maryland. What's up?
Yeah, they cover numbers like this all the time. You said it tons of times on the show.
Yep. I think they will today. Maryland, Michigan State. Michigan State's 2-point favorites here. This total's 140.5. You like the Spartans here? I don't care for them much. Not at home. Can they hit shots? The line is really short here. What do you like, Maryland, Michigan State?
I don't really care too much for this game because I do think Maryland is improved with Danny Manning as the coach. I think that he's done a much better job than his time at Wake Forest. However, with Michigan State, there's just so many question marks. How effective is AJ Hoggard going to be? Is Gabe Brown going to be able to score the ball? Is Max Christie going to finally come out of his shell? There's just too many questions, and I don't want to have to rely on Tyson Walker to win the game with freaking 3 seconds left. So, no thank you, live bet situation. Maybe I take the over, but nothing that I'm actually betting.
Yeah, I'm not touching this game either. Anything could happen, short number. We'll see if Izzo can just pull his, March shit out and get them rolling with a win here against Maryland, who they just beat, but the other last week at home by 10. Quinnipiac, Siena, Quinnipiac is a 1.5-point favorite. This total is 137. I like the under here a little bit at this number, Max. What do you think, Quinnipiac, Siena?
Yeah, I just get obsessed with line value and what I've missed or what I've gotten, and knowing that game opened up at 140, it makes it very difficult for me to get on the under. If I were Conor, I'd probably just take the first half under and then live bet it from there.
Okay, first half under. Let's get back to Conference USA. Louisiana Tech, Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky's a 1-point favorite. This total is 144. I think this game, there's not a ton of value for me in this one. What do you like here? Do you like Louisiana Tech with Lofton, the big man, or Western Kentucky here? Total 144 too.
Well, let's not freaking diss Jamarian Sharp, who is the biggest of the big men in this game at 7'4".
True.
I am a big Louisiana Tech guy. I love Kenneth Lofton. I love the ballerina footwork. But I think that it just really depends on what kind of pace and tempo that they can get in this game. If Louisiana Tech can get into the 32, 35-point range by halftime, I do think that they will not only be leading, and they will have established a game plan to beat this Western Kentucky team. I think Western Kentucky obviously has a lot of good shot-making names. The question is it going to show up tonight? I think that Louisiana Tech wins this game if it stays low scoring and defensive. Western Kentucky wins if it gets up tempo.
Okay. Yeah, that should be a good game. Let's go back to the Big East. St. John's, Villanova. Nova's about a 7-point favorite. Total right around 148.5. What do you think here? Can St. John's hang around, or Villanova take them apart today? Villanova, as we know, this is their time of year with Jay Wright, but they've had their problems on the road and on neutral courts, Matt, this year. You want to lay it here with Nova, and what do you think of this total, 148.5?
Yeah, I think that with St. John's being this size of an underdog, it definitely pulls me towards their team total over. I just don't see them giving up. And with the difference makers they have and the size and scoring that they can get from guys like Joel Soriano, I do think that could be a big difference maker. With Eric Dixon, this is definitely a quality fucking piece for Villanova, but I just think that they're so guard oriented, and it's not guards that can create for themselves off the dribble. They need those screens, they need those rollers. So without Dixon and Brandon Slater being able to provide that, it makes it difficult for me to want to back this Villanova unless it's the ideal circumstance and situation. The easiest way for me is to look at a first half over in this game, as long as you're getting 69.5 or better.
All righty, let's head to this one. I think it's a pretty intriguing game. South Florida, Central Florida. Central Florida's 9-point favorites. Total 126.5. What do you like here?
I think that this is a real tricky spot when it comes to this game, Connor. Obviously, with South Florida, they have played a little better lately, but do you really want to give them the benefit of the doubt? I'm probably just rolling past this game.
I don't, unless they're at home. Central Florida is the better team. I don't want to be laying double digits, basically. With that, that's how they got to win by here. I think the total's pretty sharp. Obviously, South Florida games are going to be low scoring. I mean, if I had to, I'd lean towards the under, maybe their team total under in that one. Let's get to a good one. Let's head back here at ACC. Virginia Tech, Notre Dame. Tech's 1-point favorites. Hit the big shot last night. This total's 131.5. This one should be good. What do you like, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame?
Yeah, this is a pass for me. I think that maybe I'd be interested in a first half over, but with Virginia Tech, it's always a difficult circumstance to get involved with. If Virginia Tech is going to advance through this game, I do think that they are going to be able to score 32 points in the first half. Otherwise, the best value to me by looking at team totals would be Notre Dame at 65.5 minus 120.
Yeah, I think this game is just, like it is. Like it shows, kind of a pick 'em. This to me is a coin flip. I think it could go either way, and nothing on the total. I think it could stay under, but hot shooting could just get this over at 131. Let's get to the Big 12 backs. Let's get to Oklahoma, Baylor. Baylor 7-point favorites here. This totals 132.5. Oklahoma at times can play decent with Baylor. Usually that's only when they're at home. What do you think here in this game? Does Baylor take care of business? Maybe a team total with them?
Oh, yeah, Connor. Under 75 means sign me the fuck up. 69.5, 69, I will like it, and I like to also have 69s with ladies of the night. I will also say this, Connor. If Baylor doesn't score 35 in the first half, Oklahoma may be winning the first half. That's how I look at this game. Very dangerous number for Baylor to have to cover.
Yeah, I think Baylor gets it done, but I'd look at their team total instead of laying that number. But I think they get it done. This Oklahoma team, just sometimes, especially away from home, they're just sloppy with the ball. But if they hit shots, they could be in it. Let's go back to the Big Sky here. Portland State, Southern Utah. Southern Utah laying 6, Max. A little dangerous here. I know they're a good basketball team, but I only really like them at home. This is obviously in Boise, Idaho. Total 146.5. What do you like here?
Connor, who's going to be missing for Southern Utah tonight? Hey, Mom. Tell me.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Tevion Jones, injured for the season. Yes. I haven't read one article today, and I've read 7 articles on this game.
Yeah, that said anything?
Nobody's mentioned it.
Okay.
And he's out for the year. So I can tell you right now, I'll be on Portland State. I'll be on Portland State on the money line, and that team total of 70.5 looks like a fucking cupcake that is not underneath a chair at a basketball game, Mr. Jeff Slaughter. It's in a fucking pristine case at eye level, waiting for you to purchase and devour.
By the way, what was on that cupcake? Was it like a print of something?
It looked like it was a Halloween cupcake, but I did not get a close enough look. We have to ask the man himself.
Yeah, it's like one of these cupcakes you put your like a picture on, that they do. That's what it looked like to
No,
me,
I
but I
don't.
couldn't tell.
I don't know any of that stuff.
Um, you've never seen that where they put like, your regular pictures on like a cupcake or some bullshit like that or on a donut? No?
No.
Okay. Let's keep going here as I'm gonna look that up. I agree with you then. I think Portland State's played some of their better basketball. Max and 6 is not easy here. So let's get into this one. I'll throw this to you because I looked that up. McNeese State versus New Orleans. New Orleans 5-point favorites here. Totals 151. There should be points here, but can it get over this number at 151?
Yes, it can. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
it can. Listen,
Okay.
McNeese played a really nice game last night. They took care of business. They did exactly what they're supposed to do, wire to wire, fucking with your eyes open, 101, teaching it like I know a lot of other people do. But now you're going into the fucking hornet's nest. You're going to deal with these pioneers. And listen, they're not civilized. They are going to fucking take your shit. They're going to shit on your shit. And with Troy Green and Derek St. Hilaire being able to penetrate the paint and get to the free throw line and score off your makes, you're not going to get that confidence. You're not going to get into that rhythm. New Orleans taking care of business every day, but getting us an over. So I like that over, Connor. I think that it hits 155.
Yeah, I was looking at that last night, this total in that game. And yes, Davion Jones out. You got it right here. Man, that makes me like Portland State too. Even more, Max. Good looking out. Let's keep going here. Maryland Eastern Shore versus NC Central. Central's laying 2. This total's 131. I like Central a little bit. I don't have a play on this game. What do you like here?
Yeah, I definitely think that Shore has value as a first half dog. With Deshaun Phillip and Dom Nugent being able to provide you some good on ball defense and sometimes some scoring, then add in the re-addition of Dom London to the lineup with Nate Pollard. Yeah, I like how this team gets off to good starts. The problem is with an experienced North Carolina Central team like this, with a star scoring guard like Justin Wright, it is a more difficult task to take care of them after 40. I think that when we look at this season matchup, Maryland Eastern Shore pretty much got off on North Carolina Central in a flat situational spot. That's how I look at it. They may have won the game by 13, but that doesn't tell the whole story there. So I do think that North Carolina Central, even if this is a close game early, it's not a close game after 40. And at a 2-point spread, Connor, I wouldn't be scared to lay 4.5 on the ad spread with the Eagles tonight. They are and know how to play tournament basketball. Maryland Eastern Shore has been someone's bottom bitch in the penitentiary for a couple years.
Yeah. For a couple years?
Yes,
multiple
for
years.
A couple years.
Multiple.
They've been bad for a while.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Rhode Island, Richmond. Richmond's laying 6. This total's 135. I don't want anything here. If Rhode Island, they scored a little bit more as of late, but against kind of some shitty teams, if their offense, if they can make shots, I like them a little bit here. But I don't know if I can trust them. Richmond, I think in the very end is soft. They might get by this game. But what do you like here, Rhode Island, Richmond?
Yeah, I think that this is a first half over spot for exactly the reason you're saying. I want to test the waters one more time and see if this Rhode Island team is going to be able to score. We know what they got personnel wise, and we know that the improvement since they decided to fucking bench the Mitchell twins and start a little smaller, we've seen the offensive starts. So I'm willing to ride with it one more time today.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. I want to see if they can as well. That could be a good live game to bet. I like this game. It's a little interesting to me. Vanderbilt, Alabama. Bama laying 5.5, right around there. Total right around 148, 148 and a half. What do you like here? Vandy was huge last night, kicked ass. I don't trust Alabama laying points with this defense. There's just no way in hell I would trust them here. I lean Vandy, and I think this can get even over the total. What do you think here?
Hey, listen, we've seen two ass clenchers already between these two guys. What makes you think that the third one's going to be any different? With Scottie Pippen and his one-on-one skills and his court vision, he's going to make shots easier for his guys who don't necessarily have the prestige and the talent level that you see on a lot of guys in this Alabama rotation. However, when you take away a scoring option within your freaking tricks, it hurts you, and we've seen it hurt. And this is not the first time that a Nate Oates team has suffered because they're not willing or able to hit a mid-range jumper. I think that it really stretches a defense. It keeps them off pace. And when you can keep a defense off balance, when you're this high octane offensively, it goes towards your bottom line. I don't think that this Alabama team has it. They are not the defensive team that we knew and loved last year. I think that Vandy can freaking knock them out.
Yeah, I think so too. There was a place or two with the 6 as well. See if you can look around if you like Vandy here. Let's get to here. Back to Vegas, Max. Sam Houston State, Grand Canyon here. Grand Canyon's laying 4, totals 125. This should be low scoring and tight. I don't trust Grand Canyon unless they're at home. I know this is a crazy trip here for him to Vegas, but is 4 enough here for Sam Houston to keep this game close?
Yeah, on my book, I got 4.5 right now, and I'll be all over Sam Houston on it. This is pure freaking. I got $20 in my betting account. I'm gonna bet Grand Canyon because I know who they are. Sam Houston has the best player on the floor in Savion Flagg. No disrespect to Javon Blackshear, he's the best point guard in the conference, but Savion Flagg is the best player in the conference, and this is where those guys shine most, and they don't even have to win for us to win. 4.5 is a must.
I'm gonna look around for that, Max. There are 4.5s out there. Heritage. There's a few books that I see already, 3 or 4. So, yeah, a lot of love for Grand Canyon. And if they think it's going to be low scoring, which I think it's going to, I think those points will be valuable here tonight. So, yeah, I like it as well. Let's keep going. Another big game here. UTEP, Middle Tennessee State, 2.5 3-point favorites in this one. Totals 134. Good win for UTEP yesterday. Can they knock off Middle Tennessee tonight?
Listen, I want to give them the shot because of Keontae Kennedy. With him in the lineup, it gives them that freaking fierceness to go along with that Joe Golding freaking on-ball defense. I think that this UTEP team is dangerous right now. And the biggest thing for MTU is what's the status of Josh Jefferson? What's the fucking status of Josh Jefferson? Because if you take him and that 15 points a game out of the lineup, no fucking way are you signing me up with Middle Tennessee. I'll take UTEP, and I'll let those orange sons of bitches that hurt my eye when I watch their games ride with my money.
Yeah, you're right. What's his status is big. It might, the whole train with Middle Tennessee might want to jump off the track. We'll see tonight. That should be good. Let's get back to the Pac-12 here. Vegas, Washington State, UCLA. Bruins 9-point favorites, Max. Totals 132.5. I think the Bruins win, but maybe this number's too big. What do you like here?
Yeah, the number's too big. There's injury issues. It's a situational flat spot, even in a tournament, for them to win by this margin for such a well-coached Washington State team that has very good skill and size, albeit young skill and size in the front court. I think that if this game is going to be in a Washington State favor type of manner, we're going to see them score some points early and show that they're going to challenge. And that definitely means 61.5 on the first half over was my favorite play in the game. And that's what I'm on.
Yeah. And if Washington State hits threes, they're dangerous, if they can be on hot there. So I wish it was 11, doubles here, but it's a lean for me too with Washington State in this game. Let's go back to the Big West here. Dollar Loan Center, UC Davis, Cal State Fullerton. This is the game I'll probably be at. UC Davis, 3-point dogs here. Fullerton, 3-point favorites. Total 134. What do you like here, Davis or Fullerton?
I know that UC Davis has been great on the road for their backers with Elijah Pepper and Ezra Manjon being your 1-2. It's just going to be about can they go and be efficient from the field. We've seen over and over again when one of them has a bad game, it just pours onto the other. And that's where UC Davis will not have a shot. They struggled at times last time out to get to this game. If they don't bring their best, Fullerton will run over them quite quickly. So I love EJ Ananoski. I love Vince Lee. I love the front court strength that they have. And with Dante and Trey Maddox, you got good penetrating guards that will settle for a three, but don't want to. So I like that in a tournament style game.
All righty, let's keep rolling. Big Ten back to over here. Ohio State 6-point favorites over Penn State. Low total, 126.5. I get it, Max. That's Penn State. They want to slow it down when they're at home. But is this too low? I mean, because Ohio State, to me, is always a lean to the over team. And I think this total might be too low. What do you think here? Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah, I agree with you now. Based off the line move, I have to go with the over if I'm taking anything in this game. However, I do worry about Penn State getting off to a good start. I don't think that they're going to be able to make a comeback like they did against Minnesota last night versus Ohio State team, even with Ohio State missing some of their key frontcourt players. At the end of the day, though, the number is what matters. The number says take the over, leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, it has dropped a shitload here. 5 points. That's what I'm going to take a look at
Conor,
later
Conor,
today.
I'm glad that you didn't bet on Montana. They're embarrassing us.
Yeah, I didn't want to bet on them. I backed off. What about slurping it? As you
slurping
say?
It like a slushy.
Slurping cock soup. Shout out to G. Shout out to one in the chat. We're gonna get to that game. G. Obviously, I'm already on Virginia. Taint play of the day is for Matty Ice, Virginia, +4. So, but we're about to get to that. But first, let's get to this big game here, Max. Utah State, Colorado State. This line has moved 3.5 to 4 with Colorado State. Opened 1.5, 2. Totals right around 136.5. They played one in the 70s that got over. The last one was low scoring. What do you think here? Big game, Utah State, Colorado State.
I just feel like I'm late to the party on the line, and that makes me want to take the other side. But with so many question marks of who's going to be available for this Utah State backcourt, it's really just a wait and see situation. And obviously, with multiple hours till this game gets played, I do want to find out starting lineup info before I put any of my hard-earned money on it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And last night, I could have pulled the trigger. I don't know why on Colorado State. I didn't. But, yeah, and now it's moved a lot. We'll see. I'm going to wait there. All right, let's get to this game. ACC tournament. Virginia, North Carolina. North Carolina's 4-point favorites. This total's dropped to 130, 130.5 for 133. What do you like here, Max? Virginia and North Carolina.
It's right on my fucking threshold number. Like I had this game at 130, so it's like I don't have 2.5 points of value, but I'm still gonna end up taking it. I don't believe in this Virginia team being able to stay and keep this game competitive unless they find a way to stymie the tempo and the guard play from the perimeter of this North Carolina team. Yes, North Carolina is definitely less formidable without Dawson Garcia being able to stretch your front court out and give you that baseline scoring. However, with Armando Bacot, this is an all-American type player. This is a guy that can be the game changer in this game. I don't want to back North Carolina. I want to give the benefit of the doubt to a better coach team, a more experienced coach in Tony Bennett, and a guy who just seems to always smile. So I want to back Virginia in the spot. I want to take the under, even though it's on my threshold.
Yeah, I thought it was right there too. Here sitting at 130. All right, let's get to Niagara, Monmouth. Monmouth 2.5 point favorites. This total's 128. Low total here. What do you got here? Niagara, Monmouth.
Well, it's not really a low total for a Niagara game. I just worry the fact that Monmouth is going to have to freaking work through some of their injury issues or some of their inefficiency issues. Listen, when you don't have George Pappas being able to produce and give you those freaking difference making games, it's a big loss for them. And I think that when we look at this Monmouth team, on paper, they have the best roster, with Shavar Reynolds coming over from the freaking high major level, with Walker Miller being able to dominate against any smaller front court players that he goes up against, and the fact that these guys hit their fucking free throws. Nobody is a liability on offense. I just don't understand why it's not clicking. The D is going to be there. We know it's going to be there. But can they bring some high octane offense and get into the 70-point plateau? I'm not so sure right now. I would have to lean towards that not happening, and that throws it right into Niagara's wheelhouse. With Niagara, we've seen the development of Noah Thomason. We've seen Sam Oreo and Jordan Citron work into this lineup and this rotation very seamlessly.
Yeah.
I think that Niagara is the spot here. The question is, Connor, is Marcus Hammond going to produce? Because if Marcus Hammond doesn't produce, this team, for all the nice things I just said about them, they'll be going home tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have a good game. I mean, 15 to 20 at least, So, yeah, tough one there. I'd like to fade Monmouth a lot this year, but they were laying a lot more points than just 2.5 max. Like I'd be all over this if it was like 5.5, 6.5. I thought the line was pretty sharp in there. All right, Florida Atlantic, UAB. UAB 7-point favorites in this one. Total 141. What do you like here? This should be a good one.
Yeah, listen, I like how Florida Atlantic matches up with certain type of opponents, but this is not one of them. I think that the safest way to play UAB when they're not playing at home is to play them at halftime. They've been a very good second half bet on team. They've been a very good double-digit winning team in the second half, so that gives you ad spread also. I'm not willing to bet on them pregame as a 7-point favorite. I'd have to take FAU, but I'm worried that FAU gets a cold dish of what they served to Southern Miss yesterday. It's called cock soup. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I want to bet the game over, especially with the line moving from 145 to 141.5, but haven't been able to push the button on it yet, Connor.
All righty, Alabama A&M, Florida A&M. Florida A&M laying 3, total 124. I have nothing here. If I had to, I'd lay the 3 with Florida A&M, and I don't love it. What do you like here?
Yeah, I'm very stubborn, and this is a situation where I agree with you. Florida A&M on paper, statistic wise, by my betting model, would win this game by 6 points or more. I'm not going to do it though. I'm taking Alabama A&M on the money line. I'm going for the score.
Okay.
I'm going for the upset. Florida A&M's first year in the conference is going to end with dismay and anger.
All right. How about this game? Will end dismay and anger. Seton Hall, UConn. UConn 4-point favorites. Total 131.5. Your Huskies gonna get the job done here, Max?
They're fucking gonna get the job done, Connor. They're gonna fucking do it. I got no reason to fucking give you for why they're gonna do it. I don't know if I actually even believe it myself, but I'll be watching the game. I'll have my money on UConn, and if UConn doesn't win, which is something that I've gotten used to, I will cry. I will go in the shower with my clothes on, and I will sit there as the water rains on me. That's what I'll do. But if Ann L's still in the chat, UConn's gonna win, so we can play you guys, Creighton, and we're gonna beat you this time. We're gonna beat you. You're not gonna beat us for 3 times in the season. Okay. Let's move
I think
on, Connor.
UConn wins as well, but I'm not gonna lay 4 here with them. I just think they're a little bit better. Seton Hall is a solid defense, though. That's what can keep them in this game. UConn's great on the boards. Yeah, and they can handle Seton Hall in that area. So they've had trouble, though, closing out these games and the free throws, Max. They're great second half points. Yeah, and the turnovers.
The plays for Connor, the plays for Andre Jackson to shoot a 3. Who the fuck is writing that shit up? Like, I will take this pen and I will stab myself in the jugular with it over and over again.
Okay, let's go back to the Big 12. Iowa State, Texas Tech. Tech's laying 8.5. This total's 125.5. I don't want anything here. I'd look to the under. Iowa State's having a hard time scoring the basketball right now, Max, but obviously this total is low. What do you like in this one?
I would lean towards Iowa State full game, even with their recent performance. However, what I've learned from betting and watching Texas Tech games is Mark Adams lights a fire under these guys' asses at halftime, and they are a wonderful second half bet on team as a favorite or an underdog.
All righty. Let's get to this one. Eastern Washington, Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado playing good basketball right now. They're laying 4 here. Huge total. This team should score points, 155. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, this is a spot where I'm going to have to look at it a little more. I don't want to lay 4.5 with Northern Colorado, but their team total, whenever it's under 85, is always something that's on my mind. 78.5 is a pretty good number. Probably does go over that.
Damn, yeah. Probably does. Let's get to this one. Can they cover here, Max? Your Fresno State Bulldogs versus San Diego State. It's the late one here. San Diego State 6-point favorites. Look at this total. This total is 115.5, and it might not get there. What do you think, Fresno, San Diego State?
Listen, it's obviously a move that's based off the performance of Fresno State last night. Clearly, they just were not ready to play the way that I anticipated and my numbers projected. I do think that tonight, if we don't see San Diego State up 5 or more at halftime, then they have a shot. Otherwise, I don't think that they're going to have the juice to come back. I love Orlando Robinson. I love the versatility that he brings, but sometimes he just loves to throw a shoulder and throw an arm and extend the arm. And that is just something for a player that experienced to keep on making these mistakes is just unacceptable. And that will hurt you against the San Diego State team. And let's not forget, Connor, if SDSU figures out how to score the basketball in the same fashion that they have been over the last 7 or 8 games, it's going to be tough sledding either way.
Yeah, it will be. Damn, I think that game is pretty close. Fresno's just gotta score, to stay in this one and keep it tight. Get to the foul line. Give it to Orlando Robinson. Let him do work down there. Let's go here out west. I like this game. I wanted to see what you liked here. UC Riverside, Hawaii. There's 2.5s now everywhere. Riverside's favored by 2.5. Total 125.5. What's your look here?
Yeah, just because I'm clicking buttons doesn't mean I need to read off a screen. I actually have to switch notes to my game notes, which I type. So anyone that has a problem with that can kiss my fucking hairy ass. But when it comes to this game, Connor, I think that Hawaii is lined just right. I think that Riverside, if they can get 3-point shooting, we know they're going to be able to chase people off the 3-point line. And this is a Hawaii team that is playing without Noel Coleman, who's out for the year. Could be Riverside as a sneaky dog tonight.
Yeah, that one's difficult. That injury's big. Just Hawaii always scares me, not being on the island. I think the game's close. I thought it'd stay at 3, and that obviously was gone from last night. There's just all 2.5s now. Okay, Pac-12 here. We're almost done. Washington, USC. SC's 7-point favorites. Totals 141.5. What do you got here?
Washington's a play that I look to bet live. We've seen them go over. It's been profitable. Their team total in the first halves have been sketchy. They've put on a lot of 40-point performances in the second half. So I'm looking, if I'm awake at this time and not fucking crying and drinking a bottle of whiskey, I will bet Washington live on their team total at half and take the second half over, even against USC.
Yeah, they've been able to score, and they don't play much defense. It just, if SC brings their defense, that's what's got me a little bit about this total at 141.5. Last one, Max. Late night. Abilene Christian, Stephen F. Austin. Should be a good game. Austin's laying 2. Total is 139.5. What do you like here? You on mute? You on mute?
Yeah. With Stephen F. Austin, this is a team that has to run their offense through Gavin Kensmo. Gavin Kensmo is a very dominant player, whether it's in the Southland or the Western Athletic. I think that you're going to need Calvin Solomon and David Calcarees to be able to produce and give you that complementary scoring in order to have a chance against this Abilene Christian team. The way that they came out and dominated in a tempo and style of basketball that doesn't really suit their personnel was impressive last night. I do think it will be a little more difficult to do it against the Stephen F. Austin team that have so much what do you call it, animosity between these two programs.
Yeah. Real quick, what did you think of this total? I like the under a little bit. What do you think of this total here, right around 140?
I think that generally I would be looking towards it. However, I don't know what the strategy is going to be as far as what they're going to do to get Stephen F. Austin off their freaking rhythm. I think that Abilene may have to score again tonight. So I'm hesitant. I'm going to look at it a lot more. I got a lot of time to decide.
Yeah, I lean under in that one. And I'm going to really look at that Riverside Hawaii. I want to take Hawaii tonight, but we will see. I wanted the 3. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. We're only at 80. Come on, you got to give me 20 more. That's all I asked for God's sakes. And Max, any words for the chat here?
No, actually. No, I don't have any words for the chat. I just want Conor
Real quick.
not to be angry.
Yeah, hey, I'm good. I've been pretty, other than Sac State, it's been a good day so far. So you got to keep it rolling.
Now we're talking about you not getting your likes.
Yeah, we got to get the likes. Hit the damn like button if you have it. Ron, Ryan, to all the Jakes up in here. Daryl, Kyle, Michigan Mel, Nathan Cerna, what's up, dude? Good to see you. PG, Dr. Jekyll, Leonard, what's going on? Banana and Grapes. More Jakes, Guillermo Zertucci. Shout out to my guy, Don Corleone, J-Ro from Nunya, D-Mac. What up, what up? Sean Thug up in here. Josh Easley, what's going on? Mike Wilkerson, Arthur Meade Jr. Shout out to everybody. Nasty Nate. What up, my man? TCATL. Hit the like button for me. But first, we'll be right back with our bets, but let's get a word from our sponsors.
Connor, we don't need to do commercials today. We've already gone.
I want the commercials.
All right, if you want the commercials.
Yeah, the only reason I needed to hit it, the heat was on. Turn that shit off. That's why I needed the. We could have went without him, but I've been waiting to turn it off. I almost bounced and did it. Somebody left the goddamn heat on in this house. I was getting hot up in here. That was the only reason, Max. You know what to do. Go to Southtown 101, best bar. We'll be there in a few weeks. Can't wait to be there. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Use the Bitcoin, transfer it over. They'll match you $1,000. And go to Manscaped.com, 20% off promo code PubSports. Get the Lawnmower 4.0, all the stuff it comes with, all the lotions, all that good shit. And get the Pub Rub. Rub your meat with our Pub Rub season. Barbecue and the regular, the all-purpose. Shit's great. 2 for $25. PubSportsRadio.com. While you're there, cop some of our merch. We got some sick t-shirts. Pub Sports Radio. Support us here. All right, Max. We got the hundo. Two more. If you haven't hit the like, hit it. Quit it. Max, to you, brother.
Yeah, listen, Connor. Obviously, I have so many plays that I want to give out. It's just like I can't fucking bankrupt people tonight. So it's like, what do you go with? Well, what is the safest way to bet a Baylor game? It's not to take the -7.5, my friends. It's to take that team total when you see 75 or less. Tonight is one of those nights. Baylor is going to make the night a fucking happy one. They're going to score 70 points. I don't care if they win or lose. Just give me 70, Baylor. Please. Thank you. Please. Baylor, team total over 69.5.
All right. Baylor. I like it, Max. I'm doubling up on a game here, Max. Give me Vandy in the 5.5 and the over. They got a 148. Not only they're in this game goes over. I don't trust Alabama. Even if they're hitting the threes, they jack so many up. Give me Scottie Pippen Jr. Keep him in this one. Double up there. And I'm going back to it, Max. I think it's too many points that we mentioned with Sam Houston. I just think look for the 4.5 because I mean it's there. There's 4 a lot of places, but I think at 4.5 with that low total, they hang. I mean, don't you? I know you liked it.
Oh, absolutely.
They hang around.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They could win. They could win. This is not a bad Sam Houston State team. There's a reason why they finish in a four-team tie for first place. They are fucking with their eyes open.
And like you said, I do think they have the best player on the court in Savion Flagg. So give me those 2 tonight, really 3. Double up in that game. Sam Houston State plus 4.5. Dogs keep barking tonight. All right, Max. Any last words for the chat before we bounce?
Did we get 100 likes?
We did. 107.
Okay. Thank you very much for getting Connor his 100 likes. It makes him happy. That makes me happy. That makes us happy to be here. So let's get some winners. Let's make our bookies cry. And I'm going to send a whole bunch of vulgar messages to Gus about how I want to do things to his girlfriend. But if he gets close enough to me to punch me in the face, I will run very fast.
Have you seen Gus lately?
Yes, I did. And he brought me an
Really?
envelope with $100 bills, and I paid bills with it. So it went in one hand and out the other. My favorite.
Does he watch the show?
I hope not, because I talk a lot of shit about him.
I was gonna say
He knows I'm on the show. I don't know.
yeah,
if he
he just
watches it.
doesn't know what it is. Well, okay. Well, beat the street, Gus. Max is gonna kill your ass tonight. Take all your money and do whatever he wants with his girlfriend. So that's it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Nasty Nate, everyone. Crystal Warren, great to see you. The Real DJ, what up? Daryl, shout out to everyone in here. Nathan Cerna, Billy Briz, everyone up in here. Have a good night. Win a bunch of money. There we go. He's a great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor McWater here. We'll see you tomorrow. Tons of more games, baby. We're out of here, baby. We be pumping! Peace!